Is my... Whatever, it's fine. No. Oh, dear. Whatever, it's fine. I can't ever tell if it's fine because I can't tell if it's fine or not because like the camera is tilted. Oh no, not tilted. I'm looking in the camera and it just looks weird. Oh well, I probably had it fine earlier, but then I messed it up. Oh well. Hello everyone. It is RavenWood, and as always, it would not be a stream if I didn't mess up my hair or if I don't start the stream in the most weird, awkward way. There's a share screen. Oh, that's a new button. I'm not going to share screen. I don't have. This is my computer. Well, this technically not my. I'll be right back. Okay, my hair is bothering me. I'll be right back. In the meantime, gather in, everyone. Just pile in. And at the meantime, this guy, he'll be your, if he could stand up straight. Come on. He'll be your co-host. I know, I don't like. Dead Drip Prime. There. I'll be back. All right, I hope you had a lovely conversation with Dead Drip Prime. Sorry. Sorry about that, everyone. I know. His drip is so dead. It's so deceased. Anyways, what I was trying to do earlier was see if there's no. Maybe pop out this point. Yeah, there we go. Okay, they gave us this little. Okay. Hello, everybody. Okay. So there's one viewer, one concurrent viewer at the moment. I'll put this. Move it, you piece of garbly goo. One concurrent viewer. Hello. Okay, so don't worry. We'll start reading here in a minute. No, I don't want it. Okay, how about this? I'll just put it right. No. Just want it right here. There. Okay. Now I'm gonna make this. Where is it? There we go. Okay, good. Everything's up to my satisfaction, not YouTube's satisfaction. My satisfaction. Right, the Artificer. We're about to Artifice, sir. Where's my Helcoco? Is over here. Let me move some things. Let me move some things around. Okay, so last time on Dragon Ball Z, on Artificer Z, the Artificer Ball Z. I don't know, whatever. That sounds weird. Artificer Kai. Whatever, the final chapter. What? the main character who was rescued by God, not God, but like the God of this universe. If we were to assume that, let me put this over here instead. There we go. The God of this universe, and he was rescued by him, right? Okay, and so he was put into this universe, and blah 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 blah. Anyways, he gains his arm that has the power and ability to like just create whatever comes to his mind. I want to create. There we go. There we go. That's much better. Anyways, so he will not come to his mind. Like he could pick up an object like a piece of cloth or like a sock or something in it, a piece of wood, and Minecraft kind of, or not trace on, what's it called? Projection. Projection magic or whatever. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of like a mixture of Emiya's power, and if like the power is also in Minecraft or something like that. Video game logic. Pick something up, become something new. Then he like, he has no memory, no real memory of his. I made it worse. Why? Oh, okay. Anyways, he has no real memory of his past, right? And well, it's there, but it's like just fuzzy. It's just kind of just no. Anyways, he's been isekai'd because he dies in this universe, right? He dies in this universe, our known universe, right? Anyways, he has no real memory of this universe. No, of this universe. But now he's in this universe. Let's pretend he's in Dedrip's Prime's universe, right? He's in the world of Vault Finder. He's in the Vault Finder universe. Let's call that the Vault Finder universe. So that sounds like something like from Fallout. Not the lore that's in the story here, but like the idea of a vault dweller looking for other vaults to find a thing. Anyways, so in the world of Vault Finder. So anyways, he's in this world and he's living with two farmers, Farmer A and Farmer B, right? They don't like him at the moment. At first, he breaks something important to them, and then he starts fixing things like Fix It Felix. Dang it. So he starts fixing things like Fix It Felix, and what was it? Yeah. And then now he's selling things. He's creating things, and then he's just selling things. He's just selling things that he makes and creates, or he improves things, right? Like say I break my Batman mug, and then I can take it to him, and he could just make it better, or not make it better. Not make it better, but fix it. So he fixes things. And so eventually comes along one of the blue wizards from Lord of the Rings to come and visit him. And he's like, well, I have this thing. And I want to bless your work. I want to tell more people of this world about your great powers, because with great powers come with great responsibility, right? And so you got to have a name, right? You need a name. So give me a name. Give me a name so I can tell the world your name. Tell me at least what your job is, your profession. And so he's like, craftsman, like carpenter or something, blah blah blah, and then he decides on a name. Fix It Felix, the Vault Finder. The art. His name is Artifcer Vault Finder. J. No, okay, I kid. No, his real. Okay, no, his name is Craftsman. Okay, I'm joking about the craftsman part, but his name is now just Craft. Okay, and so that's what he does. He crafts arts and crafts all day, every day. And you know what's bothering me in the back of my mind's eye? Because I'm looking into the camera and I'm also seeing the mirrored. This has been bothering me. I can see that right behind me. There. All right. It's not going to be perfect. Just like my hair, it's not going to be perfect. I'll probably fix it. It's probably going to bother me right now. Okay, it's bothering me. More conversation with Dead Drip Prime. I hope you'll like it. I'll be right back to fix my hair just for a second. By the way, we'll get back to reading. I also talk about life here in a minute and real life problems. There, okay, there. I've combed it to where it would not be a problem. There. To where I won't look at him like, oh no, there's something about it I don't like. so I like it now. Okay, now the Artificer. We're artificing right now into this book. That doesn't sound right. You know what's funny? That he did tell me that there's going to be a sequel to this book called the Artifcer. Okay, no, it's not going to be called the Artifcer. The R2D2 Fisser. So I don't know. But there was a joke between him and his and everyone else in his Discord server of what the title of this next book is going to be. But there is going to be a sequel, so, and it's going to be in the world of Vault Finder. And he also has released some digital copies of some short stories that are also in the world of Vault Finder. So right now there's going to be like a small little mini series or something. A little mini universe, the Vault Finder universe or whatever. Anyways, so what are we gonna? The goal of today's stream is to get to either to the end of this chapter or to another stopping point. But regardless, his name is now Craft. I'm also kind of glad he didn't end the chapter there. But like again, maybe I'm so used to like certain chapters being long, but also some chapters in some chapter books being also short for some reason. So there's like a variety of like short and long chapters in the chapter book, and you just I'm just kind of used to like the different lengths of chapters. But there's like some consistency. So there was like some chapters that would end in cliffhangers, but there's some chapters that would end in just him discovering something about himself. Like it's just a short. Is either a long story or a short story, but the overall story of the book does eventually come to a conclusion. It's just that the shorter chapters are just the smaller stories that have either like have nothing to do with the main, have something to do with the main plot, but or doesn't. It's part of the main story, right? But it's just in smaller chunks, I guess. So anyways, you have that going on in some of these chapter books. So, but he doesn't close the chapter here. Right here, he does this thing to where he just puts a line there. So yeah, that wouldn't have been too short of a chapter. But this story, this mini story right here, discovering his or rediscovering himself, or like rediscovering his name and whatnot, what his name should be. Again, doesn't need to be that long, but yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. Anyways, the reason why I haven't been streaming recently, that's also something I wanted to get into before I start reading. So don't worry. Just a whole lot of just someone getting sick, the entire family getting sick, trying to like get into the work schedule that I've reset my work schedule for this year, but not reset, but I got into a new schedule or whatever, and so I can so probably benefit me more in the long run. And so far it has, but like I haven't like gotten in full swing into it, or full what's the term? I haven't fully just gotten used to it, I guess. I don't know how to explain but I've gotten there's that, and so like getting used to it. I don't know, getting fully integrated into my like mental whatever state of mind or something. So there's that, and also holidays. I guess trying to figure out how to celebrate like Easter. And whatnot. It's also a whole lot of other roadblocks getting in the way of getting me to just sit here and just to read at least once a month. So, or at least try to read once a month. To stream here once a month. For you guys. I'm saying so I technically own you, or own this channel, right? About 3 to 4 streams, but I'll get there. We'll get there. So let's primarily focus on what we can do now. So there we go. Okay. But I'm going to read the last sentence here before entering the new segment of this chapter, or the second, the middle, the meat of this chapter. Okay. And by the way, feel free to chat in the chat if you're here. If not, comment down below after the video, after the live stream, if you don't get to watch this in time. But no rush, or no worries, or whatever, no pressure or anything like that. Anyways, I like to have a little conversation while I'm also reading, other than talking about my personal things or whatever is going in the book. So yeah, if you're here and if you can make it, right, and if you do want to say something, it'd be nice. I don't want to talk to this guy all the time. I don't know why, but he seems to like that. specific pose. Anyways, his name was Kraft. Dun dun dun. Oh, wait. Over the next few weeks, Kraft's reputation spread, and his customer list grew, leaving him gradually more exhausted. Large or complex pieces often left him drained after a single use of his gift, making him borderline useless for the day and necessitating. I don't often read necessitating because you don't necessitate often. Anyways, necessitating a backlog of orders to fill, but he kept at it almost religiously by lugging himself out of bed every morning, dragging a cart full of goods into town, opening his stall and taking whatever orders begot. Begot. That's a nice word. Begot. Orders begot names, begot faces, and familiarity. The buildings, the streets, the alleys that formed Tomloda. I miss reading Tomloda. Tomload. I don't know why, but for some reason I want to pronounce another E. It's just Tomloda. Yeah. Or sometimes I pronounce Tom Loda. Tom Loda. My ears scratchy. Sorry about that. For some reason I wanted to say Tom E Loda. Tom Aloda. It's probably Tom Aloda. Or Tom Loda. Tommy. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to pronounce it. I am going to pronounce it. Unless there's somehow a little mini spreadsheet, or not a spreadsheet, like a page dedicated to how to pronounce these fictional places. Oh, here's how to pronounce the words. Here, or if you sold me a book, a pronunciation book on the fictional language, the fictional words, or if a map, a readable map would be nice. And my copy is probably just a bad print because I cannot read that. I mean, I can read the big words, but the smaller words, I just have to all right, come on, get your spectacles, get your eyeglasses, your magnifying glasses, zoom. There's Tomaloda. Something colorful, at least. Like, where's the mountains? Where's the rivers? Where's the valleys? Right. The buildings, the streets, and alleys that formed Tomaloda slowly shed their foreign shadow and began to glow with an earthly homeliness he hadn't expected. No longer did he pass houses that questioned him with closed doors. Instead, he passed homes that would gratefully welcome him into a chat or a drink or a bite to eat. Every trip into town was warm. Okay, this reminds me. You know what's funny? I had a conversation with him. Okay, or at least I had several other conversations with him in the Discord, in the Tundra. But I remember one, but this stuck out to me for some reason, because this feels like a scene from a musical. This seems like a scene straight from a musical. And I don't watch a whole lot of musicals, but from the most musicals I've seen, they like Beauty and the Beast, for example, which is a Disney film, and I know technically it's not. Well, it does have music. Well, it does have music and people singing. It's technically not a musical. technically it is. I mean, yeah, to squint at it. But, 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 there's a lot of musicals, or at least from what I've seen, that has this particular scene where, like, oh, the town folks are so happy, so cheery, they welcome me. This feels like a musical. All right, already I could see Terith and Nef, Terith, singing like some sort of farmer song about what, or I don't know, farmers. I don't know if there's a song that farmers can sing to. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay. Anyways, this scene right here just feels like the stereotypical musical scene where, like, oh, the villagers, they're greeting me, they're being nice to me. I do one thing and everyone's nice to me. Everyone is nice to me. Everyone. Eventually, the monochrome of space, the monochrome of space, Tarif and Nierf had carved out for him in the farmhouse, wasn't able to hold the number of trinkets that needed repairing. So he buckled down, pulled his accrued wealth, and bought a small studio in town with an attached apartment above. Oh, that's so cool! Aha! I would like to be this guy. What time is it? So I can take my time Potomaloda. I don't know. Bad puns, I know. Sorry. Maybe not sorry. I'll find out. Am I sorry? I got till 11. So, yeah. Okay. I'll continue reading. That's cool. Bought a small studio in town with an attached apartment above. Okay. Markedly, it was his first meeting with a halfling. The town's mayor, Iramal. Iramal? 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 Iramal. Let's go with that. Iramal. With meaning Iramal. Whoever saw the transfer of title from his desk-boosted chair, unerring his body proportions seemed an age as his whitening hair betrayed. Iramal carried a spiritly. I did not see that R. A spiritly air about him that signaled welcome. The minute Kraft stepped into his office. In no time at all, Kraft was out the door with the deed firmly tucked away in his pocket and a series of small orders for appropriately sized appliances from an eager new customer. The space was still small for what he needed, wedged finally between two neighboring villages. But he had full control to renovate and rearrange, which let him rework the space to his advantage. It was certainly liberating, considering how much time he'd spent in his past life hunkered down in his parents' house, mooching off their generosity. Progression. We are in the moment of progress, people. Progress. I love it here. This little part of the story. How much more pages? All right. We may not be able to finish chapter 2, but we'll see what we can do. Dangling over his head was the concern of taxes. But Tereth was more than happy to give him a rundown on how they worked. They weren't too strict out here in the boonies of the principalities, and while that did make them a penitence, it made them manageable. More concerning were the letters from the Madro. Is it Madro or Madro? This is making me mad. Madro Guild of Creation. Oh, Madro. Welcome to the Madro Guild of Creation. And Enterprise? It's a guild of creation, Matt. What? Okay. More concerning were the letters from the Madro Guild of Creation and Enterprise that found their way into Kraft's mail on an almost monthly, more like bi-monthly, and bisexually monthly basis. That's a joke. More like bi the new sexuality, everyone. Bi-monthly. It means twice a month. For those who don't know. Anyways. Craft mail, almost monthly, more like bi-monthly basis. If the Crafters Guild was anything like the Merchant Guild, he could kiss what prophecy. Sorry, he could kiss what profits he'd earned goodbye. Goodbye. However, to his understanding, there weren't any officials from the guild in the town itself, so laying low and hoping they just glance over a small crafter shop without interference was the most preferable option. Why involve anyone else in his growing business when he could just avoid it? Now, one of my viewers have just left. Probably got bored. Understandable. Have a nice day. But they probably left within good reason. I don't blame them now. Now that I think about it. If it's who I think it is, then I probably understand what the reason is now that I think about it. Yeah. Anyways, so don't blame. Hey, other YouTubers, don't blame if your viewers leave you. That's probably either your fault. Hope it's not your fault, or it's because they need to leave. Some of y'all don't get this message. Some of y'all don't understand this, okay? If a viewer leaves, I guess you could say that's on them. but that's none of your business. Okay? Now, if it is somehow your business, then take care of it like off screen. Okay? Then talk to them, probably. Okay? Get to know their perspective. Okay? Don't beat them up. Do not. Okay? Do not. Do not threaten others just for views. Do not threaten people. Okay? That's another thing. What, like, not just threats, but like, oh, you're not paying me on YouTube, you're watching someone else on Twitch or something, or I don't know why people do that. Why do people like guilt trip their viewers? That's something I don't understand, and I don't want to say the wrong thing here, but like If someone leaves, someone leaves. Okay. If someone's not paying, if that one consistent person who like comes every stream and he consistently pays the streamer $20. Let's say it's a $20 thing, and then all of a sudden 1 or 2 months they stopped for some reason, and didn't they didn't have the time to tell the streamer, right? Or anyone else in the stream, or didn't have time to comment down below, or whatever. Okay, it doesn't matter. I've heard for some reason that's an issue that YouTubers, that people like me, right, who are behind the camera, right, not the commenters, not YouTubers who watch YouTube, who watch YouTube content, right? The content creators, right? For some reason, I've heard there's like content creators that blame their own viewers for not viewing stuff. That makes sense to me. That does not. The whole thing is supposed to be some sort of competition, right? The friendly competition. If you don't get some, you don't get some. If you lose some, you lose some. If you gain some, that's the important thing. Be glad you are gaining some. You'll be grateful for the views that you have. I don't know. Maybe it's something I don't fully understand, but there's also like that feels like a complete different conversation altogether. Anyways, where was I? don't know why I keep going into these tangents. Something just pop up in my mind, or I get distracted, and whatever. Anyways, business is business. Let's go with that. Speaking of which, why involve anyone else in his growing business when he could just avoid it? And grow his business did. By the first snow of winter, he could even afford to construct for himself a few luxuries, like buying metals to experiment with. Kraft had already managed to construct a handful of trinkets, like the flat groove lock set in all of his shop doors and a reinforced combination safe for his wealth. Okay. Ow. Primarily, it was to deter looters who no doubt had an experience in picking that kind of lock, but also served a dual purpose of keeping his methods hidden. He didn't need anyone walking into his back room and discovering there wasn't a single tool on the wall. Nerf and why did I say Nerf first? When Tirth and Nerf had been okay with his ability, but the stranger's warning lingered. Hey, kid warning! You may have to rewatch this stream. I'm not gonna reread the story, but hey, you're here. Hello, how's everything? Glad you made it. Now, I was talking earlier about I lost a viewer. It must have been one of my family members who went to bed. But then I was talking about how YouTubers, content creators, not me, would blame or guilt trip their viewers, and for some reason that just distracted me from reading. But again, see, I was saying, why why complain about viewers when other people can pop in, right? Speaking of which, Kate Morning, he's right here. We're continuing reading the Artificer, by the way, and still in chapter 2. You haven't missed much. Trying to finish this chapter and then hopefully go into chapter 3. Let's see, where am I? Tirith and Neoth may have been okay with his ability, but the stranger's warning lingered in his mind, and he was one he hoped he heed going forward. He tried to limit how intrinsic the devices he made could be for the very same reason. The safe was one of the more advanced things he could make that he felt was more or less okay to sell, given the rudimentary mechanics that went into securing it. So, Kraft whipped up a second one in a pitch to the local bank owner, Lan Olsif. Lan Olsif. Okay, that's Olsif? Big Neil, Celtic Phoenix, whatever your name is. If either of those names are even truly your name. What's up with these names? Lane Olsif. Why two F's? I don't have a problem with Terf and Nerf. Terf and Nerf, that they kind of rhyme. But Lane Olsif. That almost sounds like lame old Sith. Do you have a problem with a Sith lady? Or an old Sith Lord in general? A lame old Sith Lord or something like Count Dooku. No, not Count Dooku. What's an old Sith that's lame? Maul, maybe? No, he's not old. He's more like... Maul feels like he's more like my age. Right? Roughly about my age. Gets cut in half. And then spends a few years trying to not be cut in half by Obi-Wan. Only they could get cut in half again, but not exactly cut in half, but like get cut down down this way. So he doesn't get cut in half, but like he kind of gets his midsection cut in half. So but he kind of gets old. So I guess in Rebels, he's kind of the crusty dwarf. Oh, it's a dwarf? That sounds like more of an elf name than a dwarf name. I mean, granted, I'm no professional into like dwarf culture and whatnot, but like Lane Olsif. What do you think, Kate Morning? Does that sound like a good dwarf name, Lane Olsif? Or does that sound like a nice elf name, or some other fantasy creature that I don't know? Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me, because I brought this closer to me as well. I'll wait until he I'll look up and see if he chats again. So yeah. But hello, Kate Morning. The crusty dwarf had an eye for quality and a deep concern for some black wyverns that had migrated into the northwest mountains over the last 2 or 3 years. Wyverns! Just like on the front of the cover. Why am I speaking like this? I don't know. Anyways, wyvern that had migrated into the northwest mountains over the last 2 or 3 years. Unlike the mountain lions in the area. Oh, so mountain lions exist in this planet. Huh. I mean, it is fairly Earth-like, so, I mean, I guess. But then again, well, no. If this planet's just basically like, oh, Middle Earth, but Vault Finder, I don't know. Can you describe the mountain lions if the character encounters a mountain lion? I don't know. I don't know. When you say mountain lion, but you also say this, but when the god of this universe, assuming it's the god of this universe, said that this is an entirely different planet, right? If the god of this universe says that this is an entirely different planet with a name and everything, when some of the creatures have like slightly different features, I don't know. I'm not a wildcat, so. Anyways, the crusty dwarf had an eye for quality and a deep concern for some black wyverns that had migrated to the north. Wait, to the northwest mountains over the last 2 or 3 years. Unlike the mountain lions in the area, Polas. Polas? At least you gave them a name. Pulas? Pulas, the locals call them. The things apparently could breathe their own special flavor of acid that was far more potent than digestive juices. Okay, never mind. I spoke too early. I spoke I spoke too soon. You're right. What? That's not normal mountain lion. Okay. You get 10 points for surprising me early. For thinking that I would ask this question. Not me in particular, but the reader in general. Yeah, here's another question. If you were to come up with your own version of the mountain lion, what can it do? Well, what would be the new feature? Like if you were to add on or subtract, but don't subtract in too much features. Just mountain lion, but one thing is different, whether it's new or less, where it's more, one thing more or one thing less. One thing less, one thing more or less. Yeah, whatever. So come up with your own version of a mountain lion, and like comment down below, either in the chat or in the comment section, so that I can read it. I might read your comments in the next. If it's comments, I might read your comments in the next stream. If it's just the chat, I'll definitely read more. I'll read the chat out loud if I see it. Anyways, special flavor of acid that was more potent than just digestive juices. And old Sif wanted something that could be portable and protected. I hope so. Sadly, the strongest metal on the market, adamantine. Adamantine. That's an interesting metal. Adamantine was well out of the question, both due to price and weight. Okay, so eventually he'll get his hands on adamantine. Excuse me. He'll eventually get his hands on to adamantine, and then you can like tell us what it can do. Let's hope so. But same convenient. But anyways, due to the price and weight, but constructing it out of several layers of mithril would make the safes lighter and cheaper, and infinitely more portable on the back of a wagon. Craft could even Craft even offered to make some rivets to install it in the back of the wagon, so it couldn't be lifted without cutting the boards themselves loose. Striking that deal had easily been the most ludicrous yet probably the most instrumental since Dora's 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 violin. Oh, Dora's violin. Oh, that wizard. The next time Olsif sent his wagon with tax collections to the Central Bank of Madro, it returned with a number of requests for even more safes of similar make, earning Kraft yet another series of ludicrous contracts. The problem, of course, came with supplies, since his meager melting holdings wouldn't stand up to the demand, and he already piled what he could from the local smithies without impacting their own work. Luckily, Neef had caught wind of Kraft's issue and offered a solution: a trade route to the northeast kingdom of another fake name, Basel. Basel? Basel? Like Basel? I'm going to assume it's Basel. Anyways, Kingdom of Basel. It was a bit of a further ride than the northeastern kingdom, but Basel had the most ludicrous metal production in the seven mountain kingdoms. Hold on. I want to read something here. Anyways, oops, dropped my phone. Okay. Basel had the most ludicrous metal production of the seven mountain kingdoms, making it a trading pillar in the region. Nerf was already planning to head there to meet with some of his family and get seeds to expand the farm's vegetable variety. So he was willing to let Kraft tag along. A round trip would take around 2 weeks to complete, with a brief stop at the towns Mersin and Alamara along the way. This also didn't account for the time Kraft would need to appraise the materials available and strike a deal, which meant many of his contracts had to be put on hold. It was the first time something like this had cropped up, and it prompted a small apology tour to the people whose larger or more fragile orders wouldn't be able to travel with him on the cart. Luckily, he wouldn't be 100% behind, since there were a few orders that he could make scraps of progress on, but it left him in a bit bitter on the idea of travel. So he invented the train. Just kidding. No. That'd be funny. That'd be so funny. Like, dang, I'm stuck here in this. I've been isekai'd to this world, and I can craft practically whatever I want, whenever I need, and blah blah blah. Roughly, I'll get tired eventually, but I'll craft myself the first train. Choo-choo. Surely no one will ever know. Surely no one would notice that I'm probably magic hand It's McMagic. Thankfully, his stamina had slowly been increasing with his workload, so he could crank out enough of the larger pieces to put his heart at ease. He even had some spare time to craft himself a specialized bow and arrow that came with an attached magazine and reloading device. I know it's not like that, but like that'd be so funny if it's like a machine gun arrow, but a machine gun a bow and arrow. Um, by the way, this guy's name is Dead Drip Prime because he's dead. No, his drip is dead, and he wears it there. I hope I hope you like Dead Drip Prime. He's my co-host at the moment. Starscream's taking a nap. A very long nap. Says something about the stasis lock or whatever. I don't know. Where was I? A reloading device. Where his power had founded the design, he didn't. Wait, hold up. Oh, that's right. His power can also show him blueprints, sort of. With a reloading device. Where his power had found the design, he didn't know, but it proved remarkably easy to shoot and reload. Reload! Even if it looked wonky as hell, with a second bowstring in front. What? I need to Google what this looks like, but eventually. I'll get to it when I get to a stopping point for this particular stream. I'll see if that exists. Like, what is this? I never heard of this. A reloading? No, hold on. I'm too curious. I want to know now. Let's see. Reloading bow. No. Reloading bow and arrow? Let's go that one. Reloading bow. And, what? So that's what it is. Oh! At that point, it's just a gun. I didn't know this thing exists. Well, maybe. Correction. Huh. So, oh, compound bow. That's what it's called. Okay. Here's what the image looks like. If you can, I hope you can see it. Yeah, that's what it's a compound bow. I knew this thing existed, but like I didn't know that was it's called. And at first, it has a scope. Okay, so I didn't know a whole lot about this thing. I just Why couldn't you just say compound bow? This thing has a sniper. What? Again, this might as well be just a gun. Okay, so it technically. Oh wow. Huh. Atreus would love this. It is time to get off, but we'll kind of continue for about a few more minutes. I'll get to a stopping point eventually. It just say it's a compound bow. Or is there a specific reason why you need to describe it like this? Whereas Power had found the design he didn't know it proved remarkably easy to shoot and reload, even if it looked wonky as hell with a second bowstring in front. He wished for something more powerful, since getting doused with acid by some wild creature was absurdly likely at this rate, but he settled for what he could get. Settled? This thing is more advanced than the normal bow and arrow. This is a fucking compound. Bow and arrow. Like what the hell, God? I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Attached. Specialized build. Yeah, yeah. Basically, what he's describing it sounds like a compound bow and arrow. All right, whatever. The days came and passed, and soon enough Neaf and Kraft had taken to the mountains together, with the dwarven man using his early years as a roving merchant to guide their way. Now, again, I will say this: I don't know how powerful a compound bow is. It's probably not as powerful, but it can reload. By the looks of it. I don't know. I probably might need to see it in action. Let me see this in action. If you don't know about something, look it up. Or ask a friend. Compound bow. Oh. Why is it called? Anyway. Let me look at the sword. Okay. It's not necessarily faster. And some of these compound bows didn't look like in the one I've seen. Oh, wait, this one looks like the one I've seen. It's a dragon. By the looks of it, it just makes things easier for the wielder to shoot it. Okay, and by also by the looks of it, it also looks like it helps the user reload it faster. So, in theory, I'm not wrong. Yeah, I'm also looking at this versus video, compound bow versus a recurve bow. Which one's better? I say, if anything, the compound bow is just, by the looks of it, it's just more convenient. Okay, I don't want to see an entire science video. I'll probably do some more research about this. Again, you could just simply say a compound bow. And it does look like a. Do you have to describe it? I don't know. He's the writer. I'm not gonna judge. Although it could be that the character is more thinking on the long terms, because a gun is more powerful than a compound bow. So that's also. I'm back. Sorry, I'm at work. Oh, hi. Hello. Again, you didn't miss much. Me just talking about a compound bow that's in the book. Oh, and by the way, in case you didn't catch his name is Dead Drip Prime, because his drip is dead. He's not dead. His drip is dead. And yeah. Also, you didn't miss much of the Artificer. He's on a trip to get some more supplies and whatnot to help him help him craft, basically. For some reason, my mind decided to focus on the compound bow. I don't know why. I even Googled research and everything, and so I was like, because I was trying to figure out what Raymond was trying to describe here, even though he could, in my opinion, he could just simply say compound bow, because he made it sound more complicated. Sort of like, unless there's a bow with a reloading device that's much more complex than the compound bow, then I don't know what else is. Reloading device. What do you mean by that? Do you mean like reload, like you can put like? Do you mean like this is the problem? What do you mean by a reloading device? Is it the thing that at the top of the bow that helps you move the arrow back? Or you mean like an actual, like, oh, it's a bow and arrow, but it looks like a gun. It has like the barrel and the what do you call those where you put the bullets in? Like, but imagine that, but like you put like a bunch of arrows in. Choo, choo, choo. Right? I don't know what he means by that. So I don't know what did you have to describe it? Like, attached magazine. What would be it? If you know, I'm not a gun expert. I'm not a bow and arrow expert or anything. So if you know, please let me know. But like, what do you mean by like a magazine to like a bow and arrow? It sounds like, crossbow. Why not? If it's a crossbow, why not say crossbow? Why? The first thing, for some reason, the first thing that comes to my mind when he says, okay, I'll read this paragraph for you. Keep going. Okay, he even had some spare time to craft him a specialized bow and arrow. It came with an attached magazine and a reloading device. A loaded crossbow. What? Then he could have said loaded crossbow. But here's another thing. It says here, where his power he found the design he didn't know. He proved remarkably easy to shoot and reload, even if it looked wonky as hell with a second bowstring in front. You know, what has a second bowstring in front? A compound crossbow. So that's why it came. That's why the first thing that came to my head. So I'll Google the loaded crossbow. Okay, loaded crossbow. Because I know what a crossbow looks like, and I know what a loaded crossbow is. Loaded crossbow. Maybe. Huh, that looks interesting. But it doesn't have a second boat in the front. How about just a normal crossbow? Just to refresh my memory. Just a normal. No. Again, a compound bow has the second bow in the front. Although, this device right here, I mean in an artificial way, it's more magically advanced. There's an image of there's an image of this that looks like a gun and a crossbow. I mean, it could be that. I don't know what he's trying to describe here. Yeah. Oh, there's this, but it doesn't have a second bowstring. It just has the one bowstring. I honestly don't know. I'm not gonna judge. With bows in the clip, it's very difficult to make. I guess again, I don't know. I'm not a gun expert. I'm not a crossbow expert. I don't know anything. I don't own a crossbow. Maybe I do, and I'm lying. Maybe this is an act. I don't know. I just feel like he could have described it better. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm being stupid. Maybe I'm just stupid right here. I don't know. But I don't know. And I'll admit that I'm not going to pretend I know. It's just. Oh, okay. It's just the same. I don't think loaded crossbow. I don't know. I mean, I also saw like some of these other loaded crossbows that actually look like kayakshas or something that two people would need to pull, but that would not work with just him. And yes, those would actually be more powerful. So assuming it's some sort of loaded crossbow, but it doesn't say crossbow. It says here. Now that is the problem here. It says just a bow and arrow, a specialized bow and arrow. So that the first thing that came to mind was a compound. Well, technically, the first thing that came to my mind was a crossbow, but then I remembered, like, okay, wait, there's these compound crossbows, not compound crossbows, compound bow and arrows. Those are, I don't know. He says bow and arrow, so I guess it's not crossbow. Let's cross that the bows here. So I don't know. Again, I'll admit that I don't know. I'm not. Maybe he meant that, and maybe he meant that. I'll give him a benefit of the doubt that he probably meant that, or maybe there's a version of a bow and arrow that I'm not thinking of. Probably, yeah. Let's move on. Let's. I've gotten distracted yet again. More powerful since getting down to the acid. The days come past enough. Soon enough, Nerif and Kraft had taken to the mountains together with the dwarven man, using his early years as a roving merchant to guide the way. Their visits to Mersin and Alamara were uneventful, save for a meeting for some of Terra's extended family in Mersin. Come on, man! I'm going to give you a benefit of the doubt that the story that probably has nothing to do with the main story altogether. But I would love to learn more about this man's extended family. Have him craft stuff for Tariff's extended family. Just saying, would have been an interesting. A little interesting little mini adventure in here in this book. Probably would have made the book a little bit longer. I'm just talking. Okay, I'm just spewing out. I'm probably spewing out nonsense. Maybe people don't want to read about that. I don't know. Again, I'm not the author. Where was it? Maybe I'm just an outlier here. Outlier here. I don't know why I like that idea. I think it was just a reason why they're going there, or excuse why the character's there. Um, no, I don't think it's an excuse. I think I think he just wants to move the story along. But I would personally would just like to have the character to meet. Why not explore Amalara for a bit or Mersin for a bit? Okay. So if Alamara was unremarkable, wait, hon. If Alamara was uneventful, no, it says their visits to Mersin and Alamara were uneventful, save for the meeting of Teros' extended family in Mersin. So if Mersin was the more eventful place, then describe Mersin. If not describe Mersin, then at least tell me about Mersin's. Tell me about the adventure and the mini adventure in Mersin, I guess. Come up with something. Come on, talk about the family, the dwarf family. You have an opportunity to talk about dwarves, the dwarf culture here. Is it different than dwarf culture in Tolkien, or is it basically the same? I just want to know. Now we might know. We might learn. Given the benefit of the doubt, we might learn. So let's find out. Happy to see extended who are happy to house the two for the evening. The town itself had a much tighter layout than Talmaloda, whatever, or Alamara, Almara, with most streets barely wide enough for their horse and cart. Combined with the wall and in the almost suffocating proximity to the forest, the village felt like it had been made. The village felt like it had been made to keep more people in than to keep anything out. Oh, oh, okay. Okay. This reminds me of the play Fences. It's also a story, but whatever. Anyways, this reminds me of the play Fences, where the wife would make the husband build a fence around their house. Um, um, but and it wasn't to keep people out because a lot of people were coming in. Uh, Friends, neighbors, family, a lot of people were coming in. So it wasn't that. It wasn't to keep people out. It was to keep the husband at home. And so eventually, so a bit of spoilers. Eventually, the husband finished the fence, and so when he was finished with the fence, I think it was finished. Anyways, and he cheats on the wife, has a miserable life. The end. There's a bit of a spoiler, but whatever. Great musical, but I'm teasing. Earlier, I teased the writer that about musicals and whatnot. Anyways, I think. Okay, you haven't replied recently. Thanks for the like, by the way. Let's finish these paragraphs, please. Then, and to keep anything out. Alamara was unremarkable, at least compared to Masson, with much of the same construction and building design shared between the two. However, its saving grace was the border with a generously sized lake where most of the village's food was fished from. The cold mountain streams that fed it would later lead them out of Alamara and serve as a guide up into the cliffs. Okay, so we get to learn about these two areas, but we don't get to learn about the townsfolk here. Yeah, so far. But we know that one of them likes fish, and one of them has the family of Nief. Anyways, one's tight and one's cozy, but both not as fun. Merison and Alamara had been pleasant enough diversions from the norm, but arriving at Basel, Basel, I'm going to assume it's Basel again. But arriving at Basel was an experience. I'll try to finish reading this chapter, but I unfortunately eventually. So I unfortunately go eventually because promised my brother that I would watch some more Monk with him, roughly around this hour. But don't worry, we'll continue for just a little bit more. We got time. A lack of wealth and indifference to travel had kept Kraft from leaving Tomaloda over the last few months, and upon witnessing the northern city, he immediately regretted not pursuing a life of travel. 5 minutes? Yeah, well, no, this stream has been going on for about an hour and 25. Well, about 25. So, but if you're asking for 5 more minutes, yeah, well, I could probably I could probably read for about 5 more minutes. After all this, there's this paragraph I could get out of the way and then end it here. Let's see. But don't worry. Next week or later this week, probably. I'm hoping this Saturday, since this Friday's bad fan fiction night at in the Tundra Discord. Can't do it then. So I'll this Saturday, probably, no promises. This Saturday I'll try to do another stream so I can get chapter 2 out of the way and then move on to chapter 3. Yeah, okay, we can do this. The city of Townsville, the city spanned maybe 5 miles of hollowed mountain, yet it felt like it went on forever with how densely it was packed. Row after row of chiseled houses, chiseled houses and buildings of all makes and sizes, diversified by their very geometric bases, expanded out from the walls towards the center of the cavern. Towns chipped out of the stalagmites, chipped out of the stalagmites, rose to touch tips with dangling stalactite. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Stalactite cottages polishing up to a brassy sheen that glowed in the sunlight streaming through grandiose holes in the mountainside. Glowing gems sconces? I don't know how to pronounce that word. I'm butchering that word. Whoops. Sconces. Let me Google. Google is my friend. Unless it's crossbows and bows and arrows. And compound bows. And loaded crossbows. And loaded bowstrings. Oh, so that's what it is. So that's what it is. Okay, that's cool. Pronunciation. Scones. Scones. So an O can make an A sound. I did not know this. Scones. Why is my hair? Oh, okay. Scones. Scones and lanterns pocketed the streets, just like the myriad caves that fed into the kingdom's capitals. Just seeing the sea of glittering lights, the well-worn hovels, the sandy roads, and the throngs of people made Kraft realize how much of Etchion he had yet to discover and unpack. Well, we're going to unpack that paragraph again next time. And we'll reventure into this chapter next time. Unfortunately, I'm all out of time for y'all. Yeah, good read. You only need to rewatch this stream, Cape Morning. Good, because I've read past the part where Kraft gained his name and he moved into a new building, started a mini safe business, and now he's exploring the world. he's exploring the world because he needs more materials, and etc. etc. Business is business as usual. But yeah, nothing exciting happened so far. But we kind of met the dwarf's family. We kind of met two towns that, yeah. But yeah, and also I got distracted. I had ventured into two different subjects for some reason, 2 to 3 different subjects for some reason. But don't worry, next time I won't get too distracted. But it's been a while since I've done a stream. Since last year, I think. Yeah, right? Last year. Hopefully this year I'll get back into the thick of it, right? Go back into full swing of live streams and whatnot. One down, 4 more live streams to catch up with y'all. So yeah, that's it. Excuse me. So yeah, after chapter 2, I will then make the thumbnail for chapter 3, and then we'll read chapter 3, and then maybe take a break after chapter 3 or something. I don't know. And then read a different story, and then come back to read the rest of this book or whatever. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, okay. So how many more chapters do we have here? See, we're almost into chapter 3. So yeah, okay. Actually, now I think about it, I'll think about whether or not we'll take a break or not. But that's for the future buddy to worry about, not me. Future RavenWood to worry about, not me. Yes, and see y'all soon in the next episode or live stream. Hopefully, eventually, the Indominate Rex will continue his Lego build. Do not rush him. Just harass him. Just don't do that. But yeah, I'm so excited. I feel like I feel so ready to do this. But anyways, leave a like, share, subscribe, comment down below. I do have questions that you missed, Cape Morning, earlier in the stream. So rewatch that. Rewatch the streams if you want to answer some of the questions in the comments section below. I may reread them. I may reread them in the next stream, probably, if I remember. Your answers, that is, or someone's answers. Yeah, comment down below, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified. Yeah, if you want to be notified, hit the bell notification. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.